Okay, so this has been yet another big, long week. I'm still tutoring, so I'm still working just a little bit. It's not a lot of money, but it is something. And now that I've got two paychecks, I was able to contact my student loan people and talk to them about making adjustments to the expected payment, at least until I can find a more reasonable job. So it looks like I'll be able to have those payments dramatically reduced or possibly eliminated entirely with the amount of income I'm getting, which would be great so that I don't have to constantly apply for deferments or forbearances. And I am employed, I'm just not making very much. But I am making a little bit and I don't regret it. I also have kind of a new project. It's one that I've gotten a little bit of help with, but it's something called a crystal cell. And I have a copper end cap. I found a YouTube video on how to make them. They're basically a kind of power source, like a battery, but they supposedly last a lot longer. So I decided I was going to try to explore that. So I'm going to start by following the instructions listed very clearly on a YouTuber's YouTube videos, because there's nothing new or original in that. At least not new or original to me. And so those are probably the two biggest things. Just that I got most of the supplies, and I got the copper that I showed you. I also got some of the stuff for what he's calling crystal. I'll just put a link down in my description to Laser Saber's channel because that's where I found it, or to his video. And what else? I have Animazement coming up this week. That's really the other big thing. I mean, part of me says I shouldn't spend money, but I already paid for the ticket. That's the biggest part of the expense, and it's already paid for. And I don't really buy much when I'm there, and the room I've already more or less made the contribution I'm going to make. So that is just kind of like, well, there's not much else for me to pay for except for food and whatever, I would actually be doing while I'm there. Like if I decided to buy more t-shirts, which I probably won't, or, I just won't go anywhere too expensive to eat. So I'm planning to eat in the room a little bit more. I did have one other experiment this week that didn't go entirely as planned, but I was really glad to have worked on it. So I was trying to paint with crayons, and it sort of kind of worked. So you can see I did get some color onto the image. It's on there, it's just not a whole lot. It's obscuring the black lines and it doesn't look very good, but they were also cheap crayons. But I don't think it's working out quite as I had imagined. So I'm going to give it some more thought, and worst case scenario, I did put it in my cupcake pan, but it was a $1 cupcake pan with $1 crayons. So I'm out like $2 tops. I did buy some paintbrushes, but that I expect I'll be able to clean. I found a whole bunch of videos for how to clean up crayons. But that is this week in a nutshell. Right now I'm just trying to get everything cleaned and packed because I'm tutoring during the week and I stay with family then. But then I also will be going out over the weekend, so I need to make sure that I am very thoroughly packed up for an entire week away, and maybe possibly more, but at least a week, because I'm going to have a lot to do. But it's very exciting, and I'm, making progress. I'm doing my projects a little bit. I studied to be an engineer, and I'm trying to be an engineer, and I'm not going to be able to do that without spending a little bit of money. and I shouldn't really be upset about like a $5 project that doesn't go quite according to plan. And the crystal cell has the potential to be a very valuable experience, even if it's not original.